Yeah, g'day Titans fans, and welcome back to the Gold Coast Titans Frontline podcast, hosted by myself and Russ from Dani Blake every single week. We are now live all over social media, so please do get those comments in, get involved with the show. It's what makes it so fun. My man Russ, we were together for this game. It was an absolute, it was an experience. It was a very good experience, but probably not the result we wanted, was it, mate?
Yeah, it was definitely an experience for us. We had the privilege to sit on behind the bench for the game, which was awesome. Shout out to the CEO, Steve Mitchell, for letting that happen. It was amazing. It was a massive experience, like especially for someone that supported the club for 2007, like yourself, to be able to do that. Wasn't the result we wanted, but still an awesome experience. Bloody hell, Canberra was cold yesterday, wasn't it, mate?
It was so tough. A lot of people were joking over social media saying, oh, because the extended bench post for the Titans, get them on and stuff like that. And I was like, I would not have wanted to go on. It was that cold and uncomfortable. A freezing game there. Let's go into grading our performance, mate. I've got us for a D. I know that's unfortunate because we did, all things considered, have a good experience. But if we're looking at this just from a football perspective, I can't give this performance a pass mark, mate. What would you give it yourself?
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm the same, mate. D minus. Like we were too many errors we were talking about at the game. Like, we weren't good.
No, we weren't at all. G'day, J-Lad. Good to have you here from YouTube, mate. Welcome to the live show. I can't give us a pass mark for a couple different reasons. I'll touch on those more in the recap side of things. But the main one for me is, once again, you go to the 36-minute mark, scores a lock 12 all, and we slowly let it slip away. And for the fans, it's that agonizing feeling of giving us hope almost. Like there is hope there that we can be a good football side, but we're just not quite there. And then it kind of just drags on for the full 80 minutes, and it really does hurt, mate.
Yeah.
Let's move into our Titans news segment. Some NRLW signings here. So Jada Lafipo, she is Sienna's older sister, who's an Origin player for us. 22-year-old middle forward who won Player of the Year for Wynnum Manly Seagulls last year. And we also signed Canada's international captain, Megan Pukulis. She is a 28-year-old middle forward, won Super League Women's last year, mate. So I think they're neat signings, right, without knowing too much about them, because we will be without Shannon Marto.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, obviously, she's our big forward that we're missing this year. So we definitely needed some middle forwards. So hopefully they can bring some good go forward for the club.
100%, man. With Shannon gone, we need some big meters to be made up there. So exciting signings there. Brian Kelly, shoulder complaint, guys. He didn't travel with the team from what it looked like. We're unsure of how much time he might miss. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. We've got a bye, so potentially he doesn't miss any more time, but we'll wait and see. And of course, our final bit of news, a big congratulations to Bo Fermor, Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, and Moeki Fotuaika. They are Queensland Maroons yet again. I'll say especially to Bo, because he was almost there a few years ago. And if you remember, he ruptured his ACL. So really proud of those boys. Who do you go for in Origin out of interest?
Queensland.
Yeah, I'm a Queenslander myself as well.
Yeah, Queensland,
it's I feel like Titans, we do have a bit of a mix though. Like,
even
though we're a Queensland club, because we were originally around that Tweed region, which is New South Wales, right? So very, very interesting, because you think you'd get on here.
Bo, man, he's deserved it for a long time, and like obviously we knew Tino was always going to make it, and Mo I think deserved it as well. Like Tino and Mo have put in every week, like they have, and I think that's what Billy Slater looks at, and they're both starting props. They've got him down as both starting props, so hope they can do some go forward for Queensland next Wednesday, eh?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see them combine, and like honestly, they probably should go to a new level, because they'll be supported by a representative cast of forwards alongside with them. So I'm excited to see what level they can get their game to, for sure. Welcome in AJ from YouTube. He thinks Bo was our best player on Sunday. We'll give our 3-2-1s after the recap. And a big welcome in to my man, Colt Sando. He says it was a disappointing result, but it was a tough assignment against the Raiders, who were on the rebound, and it was an expected result. I feel the same way about that, mate. Let's move into our game review. The Raiders defeat us 40 points to 24, mate. I'll open the floor to you. Go in, let us know what you thought about this game.
Yeah, we were chatting about this, and like the first 10 minutes of the game, we opened them up really well. Like Brimson looked good at fullback. They moved Brimson to fullback and went straight through. Nice ball by Foz and straight to Jojo Fafita. And it was a great start. We were sort of like, oh, that looked good. You know, the wraparound was good. And then it was just same old Titans. They got a couple of lucky tries. The first try was it was luck. They hit back like that could have happened. And then we were talking, and the try right before halftime and 5 minutes before after the halftime, that sealed it. They scored both sides, 5 minutes of each side of the half, and that was it. Like that just it broke the Titans' spirit, and I feel like after that there was just no coming back.
And also the Chrissy Randall missed opportunity there. I feel like if he got that down, that would have put us a fair bit in front, which would have been awesome. All things considered, what did you make of the change of AJ to fullback? Because we did chat about it a little bit on the podcast last week. Would you like to see him continue there, or would you like to see De Groot return to the one role?
I would like to see AJ stay there for now.
Yeah, it's a tough one because De Groot hasn't played poor, but he just hasn't set the world on fire.
No.
So
I just feel like AJ's got a bit more of a spark there.
And experience.
But like you said, Jalen hadn't played bad, and I just feel like they'll stick with AJ because they want foreign in the team playing 5'8".
I think that's the key thing for us. When you're a struggling side, you do want to have experience out there. Look, so I went into a little bit of a deep dive today because I feel like for the Titans, for so many years now, we've always just said, well, we don't play 80 minutes. But I actually wanted to find out why we're not playing 80 minutes. And we spoke about this on the sideline at the game based on what we saw there, which is a very unique look that we're both very grateful for because typically we're watching on television. So we got to see and hear things that we wouldn't typically know of. So for me, Russ, I have narrowed in on the 5-minute period before halftime. And we need to get much better at that. Going back to round 6 this year, which was the Dolphins' loss, we have conceded 9 tries 5 minutes before halftime or 5 minutes after halftime. Like, that is ridiculous. 9 tries, not including conversions. 36 points we've conceded then. I don't know how many were converted, but it's simply not good.
That's why we're losing games. That's why we're losing. Like, we started well the other day. Like, we did. And I don't know.
I feel like the boys because we're a confident side though. Like if Chris Randall scores that and we're ahead and everything's going our way, I feel like the boys grow a leg and they start to really enjoy the footy.
You just never know, do you? Like,
but
if he got that down, it would have been we would have been up. Like, just don't know.
For me though, why it's such a big call out as to those 9 tries conceded in that key period there is if we can really narrow into that, because in the modern game, you can't sacrifice momentum like you used to be, because before they introduced the 6 to go rule, think of like Cameron Smith in the Melbourne Storm. They wrestled in the ruck, they kicked over the sideline, and they really slowed it down. And so to break that momentum, you needed an X-factor player, a good kick, and it could shift it because they were trying to slow it down. Whereas now it's the opposite. Think of the Storm. I'm just using them because they're the best team, by the way, guys. Think of the Storm with Harry Grant. Everything is attack, attack, attack. 6 to go, speed, speed, speed. Keeping that, increasing that momentum of the game as opposed to slowing it down like we used to see from sides. And so what I'm trying to say here is we really fatigue ourselves and we leave ourselves with no gas tank when we get behind and allow that momentum to shift against us. And it just snowballs. Dolphins game, Dragons game, the first Raiders game where we were up 18-0. I'm trying to think. There was also the Cowboys game where we conceded 50. Bulldogs at Magic Round. Think about all those games, guys. We were in them at some stage and competing. We got a few things wrong. We conceded some soft tries. And what do they all have in common? That snowball just built and built and built, and the game got away from us. So for me, Russ, actually, I'll just reiterate, I'm not taking shots at anyone, the club, players, anything. I don't know the answer myself. That's just what I think it could be at the moment. But that's my read on it, mate. And I would really like to see us target those key areas there. Either side of the break. I don't know how you do that at training. I don't know what drills you do.
So what you're saying is that you reckon they just shut off for 10 minutes, 5 minutes either side. Well, it's proven, isn't it? Like they just shut off. Like,
well, we're conceding 9 tries in that period, and we're allowing that momentum to get away from us. And then you look at the back end of games, we can't get it back because we're too fatigued. With the modern game and the 6 to goes, you saw the Raiders with second phase players example. We just run out of gas. We don't have enough gas left in attack.
Now, does this come down to what we talk about all the time, using our bench better?
Yeah, well, that was a weird thing that we noticed. So 7 minutes to go, we'd only used 6 interchanges, guys.
Yep.
Cleese Haas, I don't believe he got a single minute.
No, I checked, 0 minutes.
0 minutes. Jalen De Groot, 7 minutes at the end because Tony got a cramp. I don't know if he would have been used. And so, like, it's really tough, guys, because we don't want to sit here and try to act like we're experts and question coaches that are professionals and have lived and breathed the game their whole life, like Des Hasler. But we were just saying at the game, like, we've really got to get better at using our full interchange suite. Let's use all 8, but let's not just, like, it feels like for me, our interchanges are only to get Tino and Mo on and off, and maybe Reg as well.
That's all it is. It's to give Tino, and big shout outs to Tino. Like, he's our motor. We know we need him on the field, and we were there, and he was off for what, 2-3 minutes, and he was asking to go back on. He was there going, when can I go back on? When can I go? And that shows real, like, leader qualities. You know what I mean? And we both said that. Like, he was leading, but he didn't want to get off the field. Like, as soon as he jumped off, he was running up and down on the bike. He did not sit down. He wanted to go straight back on the field. But I do feel like that's what our bench is for, to give Tino a 10-minute break. That's what it looks like.
What I'm really interested to see is, so that I have a direct comparison, I want to see how Billy Slater uses Mo and Tino in the interchanges in Origin. Now, obviously, Origin's slightly different, but it's probably the closest we're going to get to maybe something that Des can blueprint and go, okay, that's how you use that. The interchanges better with those two.
You also got to look, but they're going to have Carrigan there, who also is plays massive minutes. So they will filter the big minutes through Tino and Carrigan. I don't think Mo will play 50 minutes. I don't think he will for Queensland, but I do feel like Tino won't play 70. He'll still play 55, 60. So will Carrigan. I reckon that's what they will do somehow, because they'll want both of them on there for bulk minutes. One of them will be on at all time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Welcome Ben Eiston from Facebook. He says, if Tino ever leaves the Titans, you can't be mad. He gives his all. Look, I agree with both of those sentiments, actually, if I'm absolutely honest. So one thing to add to what Russ was saying before, when Tino was on the bike briefly for a minute, he called out to Buff, Anthony LaFranchi, our kind of sideline manager, and he said, when? And LaFranchi said, what do you mean? He said, when am I going back on? And he'd only been off for like 3 minutes at this stage, and we were down by 20. Yeah. And he knew that he was getting selected for the Maroons the next day. Like, probably didn't know 100%, but 99.9% knew I'm in this Maroons side.
He knew he got through that game. He was always going to get picked.
Exactly, mate. And went down by 20.
Like if he could have stayed there, and he's risking injury, but he didn't care. He wanted to go on that field, even though the game was lost. It didn't matter. Yeah. He still wanted to get out there and lead the boys.
Yep. He is worth every bit of what we pay him. I know people have said in the past he's not $1 million player. He's not worth over $1 million, which we have him on, for what he brings in the middle, for what he brings leadership-wise, for what he brings in lifting everyone around him, even just his positivity. We noticed from the sideline, every time one of our players took a carry that was half decent, he was yelling, great carry, come on. He was always trying to lift our team and stay positive.
Yeah.
And like, it was hard to be positive, guys. We were down by 20 and it wasn't looking very good at all. So massive respect to Tino there. Look, another factor I want to actually call out is the Raiders defense. I feel like they shut down our second phase play really well. Now, in the first game when we versed them this year at Seabus, we only had 4 offloads. In this game, we had 5 offloads. Against the Knights when we won, last round that is, we had 23 offloads. Yeah. So we had more than double the offloads against the Knights than we did against 2 games with the Raiders. But you know what, Russ? I don't actually think that was our fault. I reckon that's like a Ricky Stewart niche area of the game that he told them to be careful and really focus on. Because when we get second phase rolling, we're dangerous. Yeah. Tino's offload to Mo, we scored off it.
Yeah, that's right.
As you said, our halves.
I know that was Paulu.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Paulu. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But we're a team that we need second phase, right? We're not going to beat you by, getting into an 80-minute arm wrestle, kick into corners, playing patient. We're not going to beat you like that. We need offloads and second phase play to roll our momentum and tire you out. And we weren't able to get it against the Raiders. So
only 5 offloads.
Yeah, I will give a shout out to the Raiders coaching staff there. It's a little aspect of the game. Stats don't always tell the full story, but to me, that does tell a pretty significant story.
We were talking about this. We feel like, not singling any players out, of course, but our whole backs, like the backs, like there was just some errors that costly errors, you know what I mean? Like high balls, we weren't competing to the ball, we were losing it. They would have got 3 of their tries just off bombs, just dropping the ball, or they contesting the ball where we didn't contest it. We got to be contesting the ball. We got to be catching those balls. We made way too many errors, which cost the tries.
Well, I'm just thinking now, there was one where Loffy got into a competition with Hosking in the first half. There was one where Loffy missed the high ball and
Yep.
their winger came through and caught it. And then unfortunately, there was one where Tony knocked it on straight into their player.
in goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and Hudson Young went on to score. So that was
3 tries.
3 tries there. That's
just good
errors. Teams barely concede 3 tries a game, let alone give the other team 3 tries. So that was tough there as well. Colt from YouTube asked, what do you think of Foran starting? I didn't feel it was right to start him as it was probably underdone. What's your read on that, Russ?
It's not for me to say. I feel like he might have been underdone, but I feel like Des wanted him out there as another leader for the backs. We needed that control in the halves. That's why Foran was there.
Yeah, I can touch on it a little bit more, I suppose, because I was at captain's run the day before, and Foran was really vocal. He was like a young pup. You could tell he was really loving being back running with the team. He was taking control of everything. It was impressive to see him find his voice immediately. So I would disagree, Colt, but I had the benefit, I suppose, of being able to see them train a day before at that Titans function there. So, I guess that's my read on it there. Final points for me, though, Russ, like at the end of the day, let's not be too tough on our team in this loss. Let's call a spade a spade. We were poor, but we are dead last on the ladder, and the Raiders are a bona fide top 4 team.
Yeah. We did. Like we went there. We're versing them at home. It's freezing cold. We did not think we were going to win.
Yep. They're on a completely different level to us at the moment. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're a Titans fan, a Raiders fan, or a neutral footy fan. You know that. The Titans are not on the same level as the Raiders. And that's fine for me. You know what? I can actually sit here and admit we're not on the same level as some teams. Where I do get a bit frustrated is it feels like we do the same things every week. And again, I just draw it back to I don't want to seem like I'm questioning the coaching staff. This is just my opinion as a fan, but we need to identify our shortfalls and where it's going wrong. I offered something which I think it could be before in that time period there. And we need to correct that as a playing group. Because at the moment, we don't seem to be addressing our shortfalls and our deficiencies in our game. We just kind of roll out and we do the same thing every single 80 minutes, and we expect something to change. And to follow on from that, Russ, if that is happening and we're just not seeing it from a fan's perspective, then you've got to start changing players. You do. Yep. Like, you got a top 30 for a reason.
Use them.
And you got to use them, mate, because
if we're coming last, mate, and there's no chance of us making the finals, which at this point it doesn't really look like we're going to make finals if we're going on our season so far, let's bleed some young. Like if there's some young players going well in cup, like why not give them a crack?
Yeah, really excited to see Sam Stevenson, Cooper Bye, and Zane Harrison in that under-20s competition they're working on at the moment, which will feature an under-20s side from the Dolphins, Cowboys, Broncos, and Titans
as well.
Yep, he was a prop of the year last year in Queensland Cup. I'd love to see him get a run. Because I just think as Titans fans, we can accept that we are at the bottom end of the competition. We can accept that. What we shouldn't have to accept is the same story every single week where nothing changes. We need to get to the bottom as to why we're not putting in 80-minute efforts. And if we can't get to the bottom of it with the current playing group, we need to make changes. We can't just keep repeating this.
Yep.
I'm a little bit frustrated, but I also see it from a neutral lens where they're way better than us.
As expected,
Yeah. I tipped us on my page because I knew that we were going to be there, and I wanted to rev up and get involved as much as
you were hoping. You were hoping more than anything.
Exactly. That's called tipping with your head. Sorry, your heart, not your head. But look, we're going to a bye round now.
We're going to win. We're going to win.
We're going to get 2 points. Hopefully the Eels lose because then that would push us above them on the ladder again there. But even if they lose by 1 point, because our for and against is one worse than theirs. So we just need them to lose by a point, basically. And we'll go ahead there. I think we should just let the playing group just get away from footy for a little bit, spend some time with loved ones, come back refreshed because it doesn't get easier. We go right into the Melbourne Storm, and I believe that game is 3 days after Origin. So, look, they'll probably be missing Cameron Munster, Harry Grant. I don't think a team in the top 4 would risk.
They won't, especially when they're versing last place Titans. Like they're going to go, nah, but so if Munster doesn't play, they've still got good players that come in. They'll just put Wishart there. They're going to play Garlic, play number 9. Like they've still got good quality players that are going to play. So it's going to be a really hard game. Even without their superstars, they're still going to have Pappenhausen there.
Yep.
They're going to have Jerome Hughes. So they're still going to have a lot of class, and we're going to have to be on our A game to beat them on that day.
Yeah. So that's why I think instead of trying to really focus on this and pretend we can fix it in a week, because we can't, like You take out the Knights win last year, and we've been poor for about a month or 2 months, about a month and a half now. We can't fix it in a week, so let's not pretend we can. Let's just let our players refresh, hopefully, come back. And unfortunately for our Origin reps, I think we need them to back up. Well, that's off the. We'll get into our specific preview next week, guys. But we both agree we'll need them.
I think the only one that nah. After what I've seen from Tino the other day, I think even if he busts out an 80, he will back up.
Yep. Oh, Matt, you know what Tino is like. Well, let's go to our 3-2-1s. No surprise who gets my 3 this week. It is Tino. We didn't know the stats whilst we were there live, but we had a good feeling that just passing the eye test. Then when we checked the stats on the drive home, it was clear he was 3 points. 2 points to Jojo for feeder. He crossed for the double. He was our best attacking player, you'd have to say. And then 1 point for Moeki Fodawake. A big stint from him in the middle. I feel like our forwards were better than our backs in this game, and that's why 2 of them landed in there. So that's my 3-2-1, mate. What's yours?
Exactly the same, mate. So 3 points for Tino. Like you said, we didn't see the stats, but we knew he played 70 minutes. We knew that. And we knew he was punching out numbers. And then we checked it and we were like, yeah, he's done another Tino performance. It's hard to see from being like at the ground, but 100% 3 points. 2, I went for Jojo for feeder. Also massive going on a different side. He was last minute for Brian Kelly playing on the left. So, that's a big stint. 2 tries. He actually looks strong carries. So 2 points. And then Mo as well. Like he's had 3 games where he hasn't missed a tackle or something. 150 tackles. That's huge. That's huge.
I think he missed 2 in this game. I haven't checked the stats.
There was 3 before that or something.
Yeah, leading into this game, you're right. There was over 100 tackles, not 1 miss. So no wonder Billy selected him to start over quality players like Corey Horsburgh, Lindsay Collins, etc.
Yep.
All righty, mate. Let's park the recap there. I think we've said our piece. Our listeners right now have certainly said their piece as well.
Yep.
Really appreciated your guys' insight and perspective as well on that. And let's move into our affiliates recap. Good news on this front, at least, guys. Tweed Seagulls, they defeat the Sunshine Coast Falcons 24-14. Titans that featured in that game was Sam Stevenson, Tom Weaver, Tukey Simpkins, Jacob Alec-Winkie, and Sean Mullaney. And the Ipswich Jets also defeated the Central Queensland Capras 40-20. Titans featured in that game was Harvey Smith-Shields. He's back from his lower back injury. Ryan Foran and Ben Liu. So the Jets are in 6th place. Tweed are in 13th, but they are only 1 win outside of the top 8, even though that seems like they're low.
Close, yeah.
Standouts, I'd say, Russ, was Sam Stevenson. He had a double on the wing and 3 line breaks. Very good for a 19-year-old in reserve grade. Tukey Simpkins, he had the most tackles in the Tweed game of any side with 37. Yep. Tommy Weaver had 2 try assists, and Jacob Alec-Winkie, he came up with 153 meters. So a few good performances there from our Titans in reserve grade. Next week, Tweed have got the 13th place Brisbane Tigers, and the Jets have got the 7th placed Redcliffe Dolphins. So hopefully we can continue our form there.
Yep.
Question here from Andrew on YouTube. Is Ben Liu related to Spencer? If you saw a photo of Ben Liu, if you want to Google it after this show, you will realize they are definitely not related. All righty, guys, we will go ahead and call the show there. Thank you so much for being with us. And do be sure to join us next Monday at 5:30 p.m. where we will talk. We'll talk our players in Origin and what we expect from them a little bit more. And we'll also preview the Melbourne Storm game that will be coming up that weekend. So thank you very much, guys. Go the Titans, and we'll see you again next week.
See you guys.
Beauty. Cheers, guys.